I want to take this opportunity to welcome you ardent followers of my channel. I love you so much because I know you're looking for stories about life experiences, things that make you reflect on life. I hear it? Yes. I know for sure. Yesterday, some of you who are listening, who are tracking my channel, I had the opportunity to upload a video that I named The Surprise My Mother Gave Me on My Birthday. Sure? Yes. Mothers, you're beautiful. You surprise us. Without you, there would be no life. So we love you so much. Now, today I want to bring you a story about my growing up. When I was birthed out, my mother, of course, couldn't take care of me, so she gave me to her sister who was an elder. She was called Mary Magdala Pecho. She's now the lady. She passed away when I was in my senior four. That was around the year 2000. May you rest in peace. I know you are enjoying it somewhere outside this world. I had a time when I was in my P2 of going back to my mother briefly. My mother was a young woman. Now then, she was married to another gentleman called Ojege Simon, a man who looked decent but morally very rotten. I know some of you ladies, you have married to men and sometimes you don't know even the man you're staying with. He disappears in the night and you're asking yourself, but where does he go? Hey, your man might be a thief. Which man leaves his home at night and goes elsewhere? You need to find out, what if he was a killer? What if he was a robber? One time he can decide to rob you, your life. So, living in that small district of Soroti around Ajib, of course, she was comfortable, but little did she know that the man was a wrong man. So one time, an elderly couple who lived around us, when they realized that my mother was living with a gentleman who was being looked for by soldiers at that time. The soldiers, of course, at that time were the NRM, the NRA, National Resistance Army. By then, around 1994. So they came looking for this gentleman, but they couldn't land exactly in the house. So the elderly couple had the opportunity to tell my mother that, you know what, Florence, if you're wise, run for your life. What? Run for your life. Why? Because the man you have for your husband is a dealer in bullets and guns. And those are things specifically for the forces. He's now an old man somewhere in a village. He has retired from that activity, but history will catch you up always. Okay? History will always do what? Catch up with you. So, my mother, having heeded the advice of this elderly couple, decided to take off with me and my two sisters. Ran with me, left me in my grandfather's place. My grandfather, Erabu Valentino. By then, he was staying with his beautiful wife called Ketla Adio Erabu. Somewhere in Pamba, a place called Olebaline. That place is called Olebaline because it was synonymous with a place where people gave birth. So it was called Olebaline. Somewhere in a small two-roomed house with basically it was all iron sheets up and down, but cemented inside. Such a beautiful family. My grandfather loved me so much. And by then, of course, we grew up with another gentleman, his very last born son called Felix. We used to call him Felisto. So in that environment, it was very interesting. My mother eventually decided to leave for Ginger while I stayed in Soroti. Now, because you're a young man, you're so jumpy, you like eating sugar, anything you see you want to serve for yourself, and doing so many funny things. Because of my funny character, when I would annoy my grandfather, I would say, bastard, bastard. So that word was common. He loved me so much. But you see, because I was a very stubborn child, the word bastard was always common. And I used to ask myself, bastard, well, what could bastard mean? So one time I took trouble. I went to the neighborhood to a certain learned man. I saw him. I knew he was an Englishman. By then, he used to work with Ministry of Works. So I knew if I asked this man, he would tell me the real meaning of bastard. Because it looks like a very nice English word. But why is it spoken only when I have made some error? Are you hearing? I know you're somewhere there and they're calling you bastard. And you don't know. You're about to discover what a bastard is. So this gentleman, when I went to him as an 8-year-old man in P3 by then, I said, gentleman, what is the meaning of this word bastard? So he looked at me and he's like, oh, bastard. Well, I said, please don't lie me. Tell me the truth, even if it's bad. And he's like, bastard simply means fatherless. Sounds like me. I'm fatherless. I'm in my grandfather's place and I'm fatherless. And now I started connecting. Eh? I started what? Connecting. Why is it that when I say do something funny, my grandfather says bastard? He loved me so much, but that word would always come when he's annoyed. You get me? So that's when I got to learn that I'm a bastard. So I became a little bit emotional, but eventually I released myself from those emotions because I knew well and good I may look a bastard, but my grandfather anyway loves me so much. You get me? So I had no problem. But emotionally, I began to ask myself, but where is this man called my father? The funny things that annoyed my grandfather, I should be doing it in his house, not in my grandfather's place. And so I started connecting those dots. And that's when I started discovering now feelings about connecting and getting to know who my father is. So you are there, you are a father. Please, if you have a son, you have a daughter somewhere, start looking for them now because they want to connect with you emotionally. They love you and they're asking themselves, where are you? But you see, I got to know this man when I was 19 years old. What? 19 years old. 1 and 9. You get me? This is exactly what used to happen at that time. And I want to tell you one thing that a child will never be morally upright until they have discovered who their father is. Sure, yes, I'm telling you this. So look for them wherever they are and begin to tell them that you love them so that they can connect with you emotionally and love you and they will love you back. Of course, I got to know this man now later on when I was 19 years old and getting to know him. It was in my senior six vacation. Eventually, my young sister came from the trading center looking for me. And she was like, Charles, mommy is calling you. Erienyu, mommy is calling you. And I'm like, calling me for what? It is hot. Why should I walk through this dry heat to go to the center now? She's like, you go. I never went until the second person came and said, Charles, your mother is looking for you. And then eventually I packed up and went there. What I saw there was some short man who had a nose like mine, a deep voice like mine. Then I remembered one time when my growing up, my uncle comes from Kampala and was describing a veteran journalist called Chris Arigo and was talking about my nose and talking about my deep voice and talking about my facial looks. It was describing exactly how I look like my father. And I was like, now I have my father and he's somewhere and we look alike. Why isn't this man not looking for me? You fathers, begin looking for your sons. Begin looking for your daughters. Don't allow them to be called bastards. What? Yes, because once you leave them there, you are leaving the world to laugh at them. They need to know you, okay? In spite of circumstances, look for them. Let them know you. So that's where now I get to know this man and he explains himself and he tells me he loves me. He even received my letter at one point of time because remember one point of time when I heard about his place where he works, I wrote a letter and sent it to Radio Uganda and through Yellow Pages, he received that letter but he never answered back. So I'm like, well and good, if he never answered back, maybe he doesn't care about me. So I also forgot. Now today he's telling me he loves me and I'm like, after all these 19 years, today you come to tell me you love me. But it was very broken. It was trying to comfort me. So I had mixed reactions. My father has appeared. Yes, I've seen him. I'm happy. But then he has been missing in action. So connecting together was a challenge. But all in all, I appreciate him. He broke down. He apologized for leaving me out there. And he says he's anyway sorry. So, if you are such a father, maybe learn to apologize. You get me? Yeah, it is much, much better if you apologize than not to. You get me? Yes. If you don't, problems. But if you apologize, they may try to connect back with you. Like now, I have no problem with my father. He apologized, and I know maybe he was really, really sorry for not, you know, for not looking for me as a son. But that is life. But today, I thank God because I'm not a bastard. I discovered Him as my Father on earth. But most importantly, I have my Father in heaven. I hear it. It's Jesus. By the way, He loves you so much. He gave Himself for you. He treasures you. Discover Him. Give your life to Him. When you pass on to the next world, He will be the first to welcome you. But if you reject Him, a different entity will welcome you. I love you guys. Love your children. Stand with them. Don't allow such words as bastards to catch up with them because they may not be emotionally strong. And they may grow up not minding about you because you also left them. Subscribe to my channel. Let's grow together and I'll bring you life stories. Are you hearing?